Ingorita Sidai TV.
Supoling Ole Ngorani Langle Sidai TV Nigishogiye anashe sapo leng rankara gini regelo ngor Sidai TV rogna sai ore to lomolincho engiroshi Ole Ngorani langna gelimulo monchere e balaginye olari koni ena boishe enchule simiola umoja na olagesha ni silo lori gale rais relo shira ila molodinka eldungana gilelo shomba na kile ras rongolongna baya ipna barana ko rejinga irkwara no rais lelo sho ore Rote Kankro kan Nairobi ni balunyera ila jekele libunyamba na ibrade uchumi ongule ba kumuko leng era matare tipo to leng toldungana kele lo shon itadede yena raila ajogala nyokere ne tonkore bokena ide maire ne bolla de ko bongare ina boisho bedoli ajokele bunyegara matare oldungana kele lo shon tongolongena tidugere ngidibara oshoren kukola wale siralarlo ngalusuniare otigra mare kulo mone makara era ila greiro tinankro ke Nairobi.
I'm saying that we are not moving anybody out of business. We will ensure that those who are importing mitumba get the first hand to market goods which are going to be manufactured here in this country. We will get the cotton, we'll gin it here, we'll spin it here, and we will make finished product here. And this will create again a very big source of employment for our youth in the country. We will also promote products like Bigsa, products like cocoa. Cocoa can grow here. Coconut is growing on the Sidai Island in Uganda. We'll introduce it here as a cash crop and use it to manufacture beverages here in this country. So, having exhausted manufacturing, we are going to also promote agricultural production. Agriculture will go hand in hand, as already been mentioned by our Minister for Agriculture, with manufacturing. We will promote agriculture in large scale, and we will also introduce smart agriculture so that our farmers can be able to get value for their efforts. We will subsidize our agriculture by providing farm inputs, providing seeds, providing fertilizers and chemicals at subsidized price. Effective from October this year, a bag of fertilizer will cost not more than 2,000 shillings from 6,000 shillings currently. We want to ensure that our farmers can work when they are happy. Maize production will also be expanded, and we ensure that we do not import maize when our farmers are having maize in their own warehouses. On the issues of health, we have already been told your Babacare is going to ensure that all Kenyans have got access to good health care. All Kenyans will be taken care of. We don't want to see any Kenyans dying from treatable diseases. We're going to promote research in our institutions here so that our people can be able to develop medicines that are made in Kenya rather than importing medicine from outside our country. In terms of education, I've said that education is going to be free. By free, I mean free. Truly free. True. Our children will have access to free quality education from primary to university. It is doable because we are going to restructure our economy. We will have priorities which we are going to set for our people. I've also mentioned that we are going to employ all the teachers who are trained and are actually staying idle at home immediately so that we can be able to improve quality of education in our schools. So we want the Kenyan to walk this journey with us. What we are trying to offer is not something that is impractical. It has been costed by our experts. We know exactly where the income is coming from, which is going to fund the program that we are going to release. So it is not utopia. It is something that has been worked on by very highly qualified Kenyans, and this is what we are offering. So generally, this manifesto is our contract with the people of Kenya. So we are ready to go. We are ready to go. We said before we start the journey, we should come together with all our supporters, representatives, and tell the people why we are running. And that is why we are here today. I want to say, as was stated already by those who spoke before me, that this is a result of a very lengthy consultative process with the people of Kenya. We said we don't just want to come and invent things, but we want to be able to represent the views of the people of Kenya. The people of Kenya have said that they want to see a change. They've said that for a long time they have waited for Kenyan dream to be realized. Where the forefathers had said that this country was going to be a God-fearing nation, that justice was going to be a shield and defender, that we are going to live in unity, peace, and liberty. And finally, that plenty was going to be found within our borders. For 80 years, they have seen only scarcity. They have not seen the plenty promised by the founding fathers. So we said we need to start on our journey toward realization of that dream. The foundation has partly been laid, but we need to expand on that foundation and move towards achieving the Kenyan dream by dealing a devastating blow to the three major enemies of our people: ignorance, poverty, and disease. Those are the three major enemies of our people. And we said that we confront them frontally by coming up with policies that are responsive to the needs of our people. That is why in this manifesto we have laid out our strategy of how to deal with those three major enemies of our people. We started with wealth creation. How do we create wealth? This country has remained for a long time a purely an agricultural country, basically processing industries, processing agricultural products. You said now we want to go to proper industrialization. This country is very strategically situated on the eastern coast of Africa, on Indian Ocean seabed. It is therefore right to say that it can become a manufacturing hub for the region, Eastern Africa and Central Africa. So you said, you're not just going to come up with processing industries, processing agricultural produce, but primary manufacturing. Instead of importing steel, which we need in great amounts. As you're sitting under this dome here, all the frames here are steel frames. All the high-rise buildings that we have here are all supported by steel. The superhighway just behind us here, running from Mlolongo to Ayakiwe, it's all on steel, and most of it is imported into the country.
Ore torgulio moliginjo engeroishe Ole ngorani langle Sidai TV kuna sai na gele mulo mona ibraremba seriane ajo ebongake ntioli renebo esiene orisa sinere county marsabira na beiterunye operational officer nile sirene grengorola rugo itanyamale sirene terishana adolengtina county marsabeta lomono kulo ibalonyoro menesaira shigna do ayamba sirene ariolo shoulder the Fred Matiange etenebo kudwa ko irashige mba sirene garabe ya parani na county marsabita tadede na ormenesaile sirene ajo kapondo ga ino operation na amerane tumincholi pokina tin kai golona to onkori ne misha rejose Matiange kiboya yaro na mesheria elopoko ibungira nkaragina ruisha na shirini yedere charana dolenge tina county Marsabit.
Now, first of all, let me thank you colleagues from media for being here. We started the day very early today to go out since 5:30 in the morning. We are in Marsabit County and we are reviewing Operation Rejesha Amani Marsabit. I'm here with my colleagues, the Inspector General of the National Police Service, the Deputy Inspector General, the Regional Security Team, and the commanders of this operation. We were required by the National Security Council to review this operation, so we started first of all with meetings with the commanders and the team that is working on this operation, which is roughly about a month old. We are very grateful and we want to thank our officers who have been on this operation because for the last 1 month that they have been here, frankly, we have not had any worrisome incidents of security in this place. We have had so many meetings with members of the public. Wananchi are very happy about the operation and the curfew. We have met religious leaders, members of the Marsabit Interfaith Council. We are about to have a meeting with the political leadership of this county. And then we have had a long chat with the administrators here, the chiefs, assistant chiefs, and the others. So we have gotten very useful feedback on how the operation is going on. So far, over 200 guns have been collected and over 3,000 bullets have been recovered from this operation. We are hoping that more work in the second month of this operation, because we extended the curfew by another 30 days, more work will be done so that we can recover more guns, because we believe from intelligence and the information we have that there are more guns than the ones that we have collected. And the message we have been passing around to leaders and everyone since morning is that we need to recover more guns. We will review this operation when we have around 3,000 or so guns, because we believe there are still many more guns in wrong hands. We have intensified the operation and now we are moving to other sections of the county in addition to Marsabit Central and the town. I am very optimistic that we will continue at this pace. We will get all the guns we need, and most importantly, we will keep this place peaceful. The response we have from the local leaders, the community leaders here, and ordinary members of the public, we took time to walk around the shops, to talk to the shopkeepers and the traders in town. They are happy and satisfied with this operation. They have not raised any complaints about the operation. What they are asking is whether or not we can review the hours of the operation to allow for traders to hang on a bit in their businesses. But that in itself is a positive sign, because they are now beginning to think about operating businesses longer hours, which is something they have not been thinking about until the operation. But I have promised that we will review the operation in another 3 to 4 weeks, and subject to the performance at that time, we will see whether we can review the operation by 1 hour or 2 hours to address the issue of the traders in town who want an additional 1 hour of business, and because they are happy with the operation and they're happy that it is working. So we will stay on this assignment until this place remains peaceful. We have made assurances that we will not end the operation until after the general elections, because we want this place to be peaceful during the campaigns, during the elections, and even after the general elections. That is what Wananchi want to happen, and we will keep that in place. Once again, I want to thank our police officers and the team that has done the work they have done here. Inspector General and his team, my friend Batha and the Special DC was posted here through the decision of the National Security Council. That method has actually worked. That proposal has worked. The place is much more peaceful than it has been. We are going to carry out a raft of other measures to ensure that Marsabit remains peaceful, because what we are doing now, we don't want temporary peace. We want sustainable and long-term peace so that this place can realize its economic potential and people can go on to do what they need to do. And then the truth of the matter also is that this conflict and these challenges here have nothing to do with the ordinary Wananchi per se. A bit of it is politically motivated. A bit of it is a challenge caused by the proximity to the border and some of the things that we have allowed to happen over a long period of time. So we will adopt an all of the above approach. We are going to do intensified screening, of people and individuals who move around where they are doing business or whatever they are doing, to ensure that we don't have, aliens and wrong people around here. We will continue to have a communal engagement with members of the public. We are going to intensify our workings with the Interfaith Council to ensure that community leaders are involved in the decisions that we make. But most importantly, we have this morning taken a decision to do a 100% review of the administrative infrastructure in Marsabit, because there are very fundamental weaknesses here. I mean, I am not going to lie to the public. The challenges we have with the deployment we have here of chiefs, assistant chiefs, and so on, is such that unless we address it, we will not solve the problems we have. The way that some of the chiefs, assistant chiefs may have been recruited in the past was outside because of political pressure, and sometimes too much attention to irrelevant things like clan affiliation and so on and so forth. And in the process, many of the administrators, actually, you can tell from the way they are working, have got their loyalties elsewhere, not in providing peace and security to the local people. And that's why some of them are not as forthcoming when it comes to giving information and cooperating with the security agencies who are here. We have too many security teams in Marsabit to have even a single security incident. When you look at overall deployment of security resources per capita, this is probably one of the counties that is most manned by security teams. We have more boots on the ground here in Marsabit than we do in over 80% of the counties in the country. So why should we have a problem? It could be a challenge in terms of reorganizing our administrative infrastructure so that it's much more cohesive, it works better in a multi-agency manner, cooperates with the others better. We have, because we are closer to a border, we have KDF deployment that is looking at the border. But we also have very strong presence of police, the special teams of the police on the ground. So we are reviewing all this and answering that question, because that is what the National Security Council asked us to do. They're asking us, how is it that with the numbers that we have on the ground and with the people who are posted here, we can have such security problems? And we have identified the problems. Sometimes poor coordination amongst our security teams, infiltration and interference sometimes by politics, and so on. So we will review all this, and we will come back again after 1 month now to institute a proper system. We are going to retrain our administrators here, our local administrators, our assistant chiefs and chiefs in Marsabit. All of them have to be retrained. And we have agreed this morning. We're going to work, because fortunately we have a template, we have a program, that we use at the Office of the President. We will do a local program here and retrain them all over again and reorient them to what they need to do. We will review each one of them, and those who can pass master we will see and look at the records of performance and so on. Because there is no reason why a county that is so endowed like this one should have such small problems that are now inhibiting economic growth and development. I mean, all of you wonderful people, look around this county, even when you drive along this town. I mean, there is almost nothing you cannot do here. I mean, tourism can thrive here. All manner of business. We are very close to a very important border here and so on. This is a place whose economy should grow in an accelerated manner if we keep the peace and the determination of government.
Ore tor kulio mono na gel molo maninchire lebwa saja yor barno le mera seitin na kenar ginore largo ko jingeri kore nenyogro ngore bo kina ide maya je ke boina ke adola je kino ritona kumu yor barno seitin tengide bara e oshoren kuko elari anarolo mono ibalunye ke ore milton le salawana la srani lang lo mone ka yogole lo monte guton ole ngora ni lang le Sidai TV.
Ore tiatua olosho le Kenya nilepua esajati orbarnot lemegero tempolo solario tulusoyie loonkalusuni tikitam obo ometabaiki esajati tomon oile torbarnot oota larin 20 ometabaiki 24. Ore telulung'ata nemegero te serikali arashu toowuejitin oloopeny esajati 39 orbarnot tiatua olosho le Kenya. Ore irorie Sidai FM Merina Sekuyapan na ninye deputy olopeny olorika le Public Service Board te kaunti Nakuru netejo kenare na ore larikok ogeluni te lari loonkalusuni 22 na larikok oisho orbarnot terishata enkigerore amu ore esajati enye sapuk nemegero tiatua olosho le Kenya.
Wale viongozi wanaenda kuchaguliwa tarehe 9 mwezi wa 8 waweze kuhakikisha wameangalia mambo ya vijana, kwa sababu kwa hakika mimi nafanya kwa board ya Nakuru ya Public Service, na wakati tunatangaza kazi saa nyingine tuko na kazi 10, vijana 10,000 wanaomba kazi. Hiyo ni ishara kwamba watoto wako na shida ya kazi, na sisi viongozi ni kurushiana maneno. Mimi ninajua kuna suluhisho kwa vijana.
Etomono sipeye egeloni larikok lemedake mali olopeny enkop emwenkului,
na once tukielektiwa ni vizuri to create a conducive environment ya vijana, hata kama hawajiriwi kwa kazi za serikali wanaweza kuwa self-employed. Tusipore mali yote tuweke kwa mifuko yetu. Tunajenga majumba ya gorofa na watoto wetu wanalala kwa streets. Sisi viongozi tukue na hiyo conscience. Hata hii mali tunasanya yote, mashamba kubwa, manyumba ya gorofa, na watoto wetu wanalala kwa street, iko na haja gani?
Aya Kikolomon te Sidai FM Tempolos Oldokale Narok Aji Milton Ole Salaon.
Ore kembang rolo mon gishognor kulio mona gel mulo moninchire da de yo sene dalen kanaro kola nyitile da mole kena ajogero siligi sabu kolen ajogero olari konia na boisho asimielo moja raila mulo dinga ile bunye uchumielo sho renambo se shure tisho olo shile Kenya on kwa biabo nebigisi rekio na rigino renkaragna kamba na ibrare ramatare on kwa bire na bosi olo shile Kenya elimona ola nyitile da mole kena gulo monegrairo tenkan kiroka Nairobi.
We want a double-digit economic growth. Number 2, we also expect him to come up with a very good foreign policy. Because with the economic development, with a good foreign policy, and a fight on zero tolerance on corruption, it will be able to help this country grow. The other thing, for the poor people, we expect to be able to make sure that we have free education across board. You know, from primary all the way to university level. When we have those free primary education, zero tolerance to corruption, a double economic growth. Number 3, a good foreign policy plan which will be able to attract more direct investment into the country, we can then be able to grow this economy. The other most important thing is that we've talked about Pesa Mfukoni. We have been on the campaign trail talking about how much money is going to go to the poor people. The 6,000 shillings, which is Raila has been promising, we expect Raila to be able to talk about that money today. The problem we've had in this country is that we've got a lot of promises and nothing has ever delivered. Look at Kenya. Kenya has already made a decision. Today, we want more manufacturing sectors. I can tell you, in Narok County, we are going to build more livestock factories. We are going to build more dairy factories to be able to help. Now, it will be important for the first time in history for the national government and the county government to work together in line to continue growing the economy. So I'm really excited about today. I know for a fact that our people will end poverty. Let me tell you, anyone out there, and tonight I want to speak to those people who are still doubting whether Raila will become president. I want them to see what is happening in Kenya. everybody is being able to differentiate between real economic growth, real prospect in terms of developing this economy, and poor leadership. When you look at what our opponents are trying to offer, it's a lot of hogwash. What we are offering is really key, and I think today Kenyans will be able to believe that at least they too can be able to get an opportunity to live well in this country, to enjoy this country, but take home double economic growth, manufacturing sectors improved.
Ore tolo mono oingwang kwa pia bona gele mulo mono oingwang lo shole Ukraine lo ngora nilang le sele TV ajaro naga sabu ko samiro lo nagli lo shore ankara kingo lo na grema ninche sujola rabale ogre shore rinjoro na ke lo shore na bose lo shore Russia balunya na nkumo yo lo na ka jogi yuna gitingi gela rabala bokata pe shugunya Syria na bose ramata do rikesha rolo benye lo shole Ukraine eminene sino lo na ngisho nyeru ngaye California lo na ya darba to roga Sujunara sagnador kia lo shule Russia lo shuna kele Ukraine na le lo mono ngwe lo shule Ukraine ole ngora ni langle Sidai TV o isho yo ke ngede bara onko rokyo lo molangro na sa yente ba ne shogia na shesa bu karen kar gini regalo ngora Sidai TV ka jang karnai Ole Kanchuel edot
Ingorita